Good afternoon and welcome to the October 28, 2025 meeting of the Georgetown County Council. Please take this time to silence your cell phones so we can all be present for the information to be presented. Note for the record, we do have a quorum present. Please join us as Councilor Bishop Cooper leads us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, as we come before you tonight, we ask that you would give us the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. We ask tonight that you would help us to be on one accord for the community, for each and every constituent. The decision that we will make tonight, we ask that you would be in our midst. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Move down to the approval of agenda. I will now call for a motion to move item 12B, ordinance 25-30, an ordinance to amend the Georgetown County Code of Ordinances, section 8-24, fees, subsection C3 relating to the tire disposal fees, to bring it off the table and back on the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Morant. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Okay, we'll bring it back. Chair will now call for a motion to postpone indefinitely item 12B, ordinance 25-30, an ordinance to amend the Georgetown County Code of Ordinances, section 8-24 fees, subsection C3, relating to tire disposals. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries 6-1. The clerk will please take this off the agenda for it's no longer under further consideration by council. We will move to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Or is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Your agenda is approved. Move down to special reports and presentations. Tonight's nonprofit spotlight is Helping Hands. Georgetown County and the Francis P. Burnell Foundation are partnering to spotlight a local nonprofit. This week's featured nonprofit is Helping Hands. Ms. Lynn Ford, the Associate Director, will present. Ms. Ford, you have the floor. Can everybody hear me okay? We're getting feedback up here, and I can't tell if everybody can hear us good or not. Thank you. Ms. Ford?
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. It's truly an honor for us to, for me to share about Helping Hands of Georgetown. There's a video that's supposed to be playing, and following the video, it's just a very short, almost less than 2-minute video, and then I will make some comments.
Good morning, I'm Jean Rothrock. I'm a member of the board for Helping Hands here in Georgetown, and I've been involved in the organization for 5 or 6 years now, and the more I learn about it, the more I realize what a wonderful asset this is for our neighbors and students that are at risk. And I'd like to talk about 2 specific programs that are unique to Helping Hands. One of them is the dental clinic. We are the only nonprofit in Georgetown County that provides a free dental clinic. And this clinic gives us the opportunity to draw patients from other nonprofits, basically multiplying our effect in the community. The other thing I think is really unique to Helping Hands is we're the only organization that's in all 4 of Georgetown County high schools as part of the school day. We work with students who are identified as at risk to help them develop the skills that they will need to be successful in life once they graduate from the Georgetown County high schools. And that's to help them see beyond their immediate surroundings into the larger picture of what's available to them, as well as give them the coping skills that they need to be successful as they move on into their adulthood. So those 2 programs are really unique to Helping Hands. Helping Hands was founded 35-ish years ago as a group of covenant churches, and by pooling their donations, they were able to magnify the effect. So it is a faith-based organization. We also help with utility assistance as well as food insecurity. So it's a great organization that's very worthy of any support that you have to give.
Job of giving an overview of the organization. I'm just going to share a couple of highlights. One of them is our, well, at the end, there was not a statement, it was a date that talked about an upcoming fundraiser. We had a fundraiser scheduled for October 12th, and that weekend it was a bad rainstorm, so that's being rescheduled for November 16th. So we invite you all to come and join us for that. It's called Brunch, Bubbles, and Jazz, and it's our annual fall fundraiser. Our funds go to support all of our programs, and one of the most pressing needs we have right now is our food pantry. It's been our staple organization since 1989, and several times throughout this year, our pantry shelves have been bare. But this time, it's really kind of alarming because during this time of year, we're usually preparing for Thanksgiving. The week before Thanksgiving, we have a food distribution where we give out turkeys and the fixins, not prepared meals, but meals in a box or a bag where people can take it and they can prepare their own meals for the holidays. And so we're experiencing a food shortage right now. And that's going to continue as those folks that come to Helping Hands, they're on disability, some of them have SNAP benefits, most of the folks are uninsured. So we know that times are going to get really harder, but times are hard right now. And the USDA, we relied on them heavily. Most food banks have been relying on the USDA to provide free food to food pantries. Right now, we purchase food from the Low Country Food Bank, and the food truck that Low Country Food Bank brings to us twice a month, they usually include some pallets from the USDA. I would say about 3 years ago, we were getting food from the USDA, about 5 to 7 pallets a month, including food that we purchased. So we didn't have to purchase as much food because we were getting it from the USDA. Well, that number dwindled over the past 2 years to where we were only receiving 1 to 2 pallets. Today, we received a food truck from the food bank, and there was 1 box of cabbage that came from the USDA. The rest of the items, it was about 5,000 pounds of food that we paid for, and it cost us almost $4,000 for the truck that came today. And we still need more. So times are really tough. We know that in the past, Georgetown County residents have been very gracious to us, and whenever we've initiated the call for help, people have done so by either providing funding where we would go and purchase our food, or they would do food drives in their communities, in their churches, in their children's schools. So we're asking that again, and we're trying to spread the word as much as possible so that we can be that source of support for our residents when they need us the most. We have our food distribution the week of November 17th, so we're accepting donations up until then, so that we can continue the trend of helping those that are most in need. So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to share with you. I also wanted to share that dental clinic I mentioned, Georgetown County, this is the only free dental clinic that is in Georgetown County, and we're very proud of it. It's a state-of-the-art dental clinic. We have volunteer dentists, we have hygienists and assistants that we pay, but they provide top-notch service. We started off with 1 day a week for extractions only. Now we have 2 additional days that the dental clinic is open, and we offer preventive and restorative cleanings to our neighbors in need, again, those who are uninsured. So those are 2 really important programs that we have that I think I just really wanted to highlight because a lot of folks aren't aware of that. And of course, I think many of you have heard of our youth empowerment program that's in the high schools. So thank you for letting me share a light on our programs. I'm really proud to be a part of Helping Hands of Georgetown. It's been a staple in our community since 1989, and it really does a lot of good with with the resources that we have to offer to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Any questions for Ms. Ford?
Yes, Mr. Chair, my question is, what's your target goal for November the 16th? What's the certain amount that you're looking for, certain food distribution that you're looking for November the 16th?
Well, November 16th is a fundraiser that we have. So that fundraiser is the goal. The fundraising committee set that goal of $130,000. That goal was set earlier in the year, and those funds would be used for general operating support for the entirety of Helping Hands. What we're looking for now, I'm not exactly sure what the numbers are for the food distribution, but I do know that the turkeys that we have and the turkeys or turkey breasts that we have to give out to about 300 families, we have those secured. Those are done by donors. The meals, the non-perishables, the cans and the dry goods, et cetera, that's where we need funds for those 300 families. We feed about 300 families in Georgetown proper, and then another 100 families in Andrews for Thanksgiving.
Okay, and my second question or concern, I noticed there was a tremendous drop in the pallet from 5 to 7. Within the past 2 years, it's now 1 to 2 pallet. Can you try to share with us what happened for the most part? We went from 5 to 7, now we're at 1 to 2, and I'm asking this question so that we can somehow figure out a way to what we can do to sort of help enhance and move things in the right direction for it.
That's actually a government deal, through the USDA. So that's affected the food pantries all across America. So it wasn't by anything that we had done as a food pantry that caused them to not provide as much food to us. That was, an external source. So we have no control over that aspect. As a nonprofit, Helping Hands does not seek support from government or from the federal government, or even in terms of grants. We receive grants from local, regional agencies that provide funding to nonprofits, as well as individual and private donors. So it's a struggle for everyone to understand why we're not getting funding, or why we're not getting the USDA, but I understand that's a federal mandate that those funds are going away, period.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Ms. Ford,
Yes.
I have a question. Mr. Kennedy is over everything to do with food anymore, medical things and everything else. Maybe I better get closer to this. Anyway, he's taken over. He's the czar for food. Is that going to affect you in a positive way anyway, or a negative way, as far as the types of food we're feeding the kids, and with all these dyes and et cetera in them?
I would hope it would affect us in a positive way. If there's a way that they can offer nutritious food in bulk, have more fresh produce and more grocery stores in rural neighborhoods, in poor neighborhoods that need it most. Those are usually the areas where there's where there are food deserts. And so it's about providing more access. So it's one thing to set policy to say we need more nutritious foods. And I am definitely all about wellness. Those who know me, they know that's my passion, is about, I know the importance of how when you eat better, it affects every part of your body, it affects every part of your livelihood. But the thing is, if the only thing that is in a family's reach are junk foods or gas station, convenient food stores that don't have the type of food that they need, they're going to go for what's less expensive as opposed to maybe what is more, what's better for them. So hopefully, as policy is being created to offer healthier foods, they'll come up with some policy to make access more available in the areas where it's needed the most.
Thank you.
Ms. Ford, if you don't mind, could you briefly give us kind of an overview of the Bubbles and Brunch, the wheres, the times?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
tickets?
It's going to be held Sunday, November 16th at Debadew Colony from 11 to 2:30. Tickets are $125 for individuals. You can go on our website at helpinghandsofgeorgetown.org to purchase tickets, or you can call our office if you don't want to make an online contribution. But it's a great opportunity to learn more about our programs. It's just going to be an afternoon of fun, fellowship, hearing more about our programs, meeting the staff and volunteers. We are blessed to have a lot of volunteers who really care about our organization. And so you'll be able to learn more and have an enjoyable day while you are giving back to our community. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, do you mind providing the phone number for those of us that do not have their phone number, please?
843-527-3424.
Thank you.
Anything further? Thank you, Ms. Ford, for everything you do for Georgetown County.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
We will move down now to the I voted sticker contest winners. We have a report from Ms. Afra McCray, Director of Voter Registration and Elections. Ms. McCray, you have the floor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Georgetown County Council members, Georgetown County School Board District members, staff, members of the public, and any Board of Election members that are present. My name is Afra McCray, the Director of Georgetown County Voter Registration and Elections, and this is my colleague, Lindsay Wyrick, Social Studies Coach for Georgetown County School District. Before we go any further, we would like to give special thanks to Senator Goldfinch for being with us today, as his daughter is one of the finalists in this contest. Thank you, Senator. In our third year of the I Voted Sticker Design Contest, we developed a theme that was called Vote Local to encourage and inspire and bring awareness to the local elections that take place right here at home. In the weeks leading up to October 10th, students from schools representing all enrollment areas of Georgetown County submitted their designs in hopes to see their sticker design given to the voters who will vote on November 4th. This civic engagement project was distributed to all art teachers in elementary, middle, and high schools. Additionally, the project was shared to the Georgetown School of Arts and Science and the Low Country Prep School. Overall, we're happy to report that we collected 384 designs. Now we would like to thank all of the students who took the time and effort to enter the contest and honor the 5 final with a trophy that includes an image of their winning design. Each student's design was thoughtful and creative. Many students went above and beyond to design a sticker, especially for Georgetown County. As we call your name, please step forward to collect your trophy and take a picture with your teacher, principal, parents, and/or guardians. As you enter the stage from the right side, you will wait on the left side of the stage for a group picture. In 5th place, we have Claire Chadwell from Waccamaw Middle School. Is Claire Chadwell here? Okay. In 4th place, we have Avalon Shiki from Waccamaw Intermediate School. And you'll wait just a minute, Avalon, to the left side. Yes, ma'am. In 3rd place, we have Harper McCleary from Coastal Montessori Charter School. Harper McCleary. Runner-up is Hadley Goldfinch from Walkamont Intermediate School. Let's give Hadley a little time. And the winner of this year's I Voted Sticker Design Contest 2025 is Madeline Taylor from Georgetown Middle School. And you will see a picture of Madeline's design on the monitor here to the left. Congratulations to all of the contestants. We are so proud of your designs. We thank everyone for attending and hope to see you on November 4th at your local election precinct.
Stand on top of the speaker.
Let me get one of our first place winners with
They're not cutting my back so we can talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to everyone, and thank y'all very much. We move down to our South Carolina Trust Liability Insurance. We will have a vote on the contract and resolution following our report from Walt Ackerman, our Director of Administrative Services. Mr. Ackerman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of council, I have with me tonight a couple of special guests. Mr. Robert Benfield, he's the head of the insurance trust for the South Carolina Association of Counties. Mr. Josh Rhodes, he's, I think, the deputy in charge. He's also an attorney, so be careful. And then someone that you all may not have met, our new risk manager, Ms. Tranja Simmons, and I'm going to ask them to stand so everybody can get a good look at them. All these folks are very important in what has transpired over the last couple of years. This was a project that was started by our former risk manager, Ms. Holly Laycock, and with the help of Robert and his team up at the Association of Counties, they were able to pull quite a few things together, a lot of information, a lot of hard work, a lot of the folks at the association doing some pretty amazing things to be able to pull this across the finish line, to give us the opportunity to do what we're asking to do tonight. And all of it, I'm sorry, I thought something was going on. All of it was polished off by Tranja Simmons, our new risk manager. She's been with us for about 6 weeks. And so all this is really kind of pulled together at the last minute. What we're presenting tonight is the opportunity to change our tort and liability and comprehensive and collision insurance. So our liability insurance and our equipment and vehicle insurance. We are currently insured through the South Carolina Insurance Reserve Fund, or the IRF. We've been with them for decades. They are a state-run agency that insures everything but workers' comp for us. We have been unable so far to I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the stuff. Anyway, we've been unable to switch from the IRF due to a number of different reasons. We've shopped this insurance around for years and years and have never had anybody even come close to the IRF. Robert and his team at the association have put together a package that's going to actually reduce our annual premium by about $252,000, which is a fairly significant savings. We're looking at a budget currently of about 2.1 million, and we'll be spending about 1.8 million, 1,847,789 over the course of the next 12 months. The benefits to the program through the association or the Association of Counties, it's going to double our liability coverage. So we're going to go from $2 million in liability cover, or 1 million to 2 million, I think it is. Our claims deductibles are currently at $10,000 per occurrence. So if we wreck a patrol car or we have a water leak or whatever happens, our deductible limit is $10,000. Our new deductible will be $1,000. We've had several claims just in the last month that have fallen below that $10,000 threshold, and this would have been nice to have in place at that time. This new policy includes a cyber liability policy. We currently shop that on the open market. We actually just renewed it in September, so we'll have two policies for the next year. So attack us if you want, but we're prepared. There's no charge during the course of the year for automobiles and equipment that we add on. So we typically throughout the year will replace older equipment. So we drop one off and we put one on, and then there's about 6 different layers of paperwork now that currently goes on with the IRF to drop that coverage and put the new one on. And there's invoices that have to go back and forth. This will probably save Tranja about 150 to 200 hours a year in paperwork, just processing that, let alone folks in the finance department dealing with the AP side of it. So that's going to help. This provides an online claims reporting, handling, and processing, much like our workers' comp stuff. We've been insured with them with workers' comp for 30 years-ish. Robert, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, since 92. So I was pretty close, about 33 years. Anyway, we have a fantastic working relationship with them. They have a stable of people that help us work through claims issues. They provide training for us and our employees. They come down generally about once a month or so and provide some kind of training. That would continue on through this new program as well. We'll have access to all those additional resources. One little nice tidbit is they provide free glass replacement on all vehicles, including heavy equipment. Interesting story. First time in my entire career I've experienced this. We had to replace a glass in a car this past month because they hit a buzzard and it busted the windshield out. I've never had a buzzard bust a windshield in my entire career. The one thing that I thought, and I highlighted on your report here, under the IRF, if we buy a vehicle today and we total it tomorrow, then they reduce it for actual cash value because vehicles go down in value. Under the association's policy, they understand that, budgetary dollars are hard to come by. When you buy a new piece of equipment, you expect it to last for a while. And if something happens within the first 2 years, they actually replace that vehicle with a new one instead of giving you that depreciated value to offset. So that's kind of a big thing for us. And then the online and training and personal training that they will provide is just going to be above and beyond what the IRF currently does. So it is our recommendation that council vote to move from the Insurance Reserve Fund to the South Carolina Association of Counties insurance trust, saving dollars, making our life easier from a staff perspective, and providing a much better level of coverage and training. I have the experts here. If you have any questions, they are willing, ready, and able to answer them if I'm not able to. Mr. Chairman, that's my report.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a question.
Counselor Anderson?
This sounds like a really good deal. How in the world are these gentlemen able to supply us with things just like the last thing you talked about, which is replacing a piece of equipment? That's really almost amazing.
It's almost wizardry, what they pulled off. They've been trying to figure out how to provide coverage for us for quite some time. Our issue is we're a coastal county. A lot of insurance companies don't want to touch us because of our high likelihood of storm damage and disasters. Robert and his team, Robert and Josh and the whole team, they worked a little magic and they actually put together their own reinsurance corporation, I guess, for lack of a better term. They worked with somebody out of, who was it, London? So they worked with a group out of London to develop reinsurance. Is kind of like a stop loss. So they take out an additional insurance policy. So the trust is responsible for claims up to $400,000 per occurrence. And then after that, this other insurance would pick all that stuff up. Without that in place, they wouldn't have been able to come in and give us such a low rate. So it's kind of amazing. It was a very unique approach, and I'm astounded.
Are you saying that's a lower risk factor than what we've had?
So I'm not certain how the IRF goes about doing what they do, but they cover all state agencies, school districts, like DSS or anybody like that's up under the state. So, and they're state mandated by state law. They don't have a choice. They have to cover them. So I'm not sure how they do their reinsurance part. But this is pretty new for the association. So it just limits and that's if I understand from the presentation, and Robert, correct me if I'm wrong. So if a hurricane hits South Carolina, all the counties that they cover, the trust is only responsible for $400,000 in damages in total, not just in Georgetown County. So that's how they're able to keep those costs down. Is by shifting that liability.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your help.
Mr. Newton is itching. I can see it.
Counselor Newton, you
Just a
had the
couple
floor.
questions, Mr. Ackerman. How much does our claim history affect this total cost?
Quite a bit. That's part of all the information gathering that was done, started by Holly, finished up by Tranja. They went back and looked at, I think it was a 10-year loss run history. So everything that we did wrong in the past eventually comes back to bite you in the future. But we've done a lot of stuff right as well. So that's why the premium is as low as it is.
Did the cyber attack affect our insurance costs?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yes, sir, it did. So that's the gift that keeps on giving, apparently.
And that's what we spent all the money on to prevent it from happening again.
That is correct. We have took extraordinary measures to keep that from happening again. Even though we have insurance in place, and we had insurance in place then that covered a lot of the cost to get stood back up, our insurance rates went out the roof because we didn't have all those things in place. So a lot of our cost, our dollars that we spent improving our network and our security have since then been offset by the lowering of that insurance premium. The one that we just signed up for before putting this into place was about $16,000. Prior to that, I think right after the attack, we were closer to $100,000, 85-ish, I think is what our annual premium was. So it has come down because of these things we put in place.
So I know all the items we have covered. I'm not sure if there's a possibility of measuring how well you're doing on claims such as workers' comp as a measuring yardstick, so to speak?
I don't know. I'll ask the experts here if they provide some sort of number. I've never seen like a modifier rate like in workers' comp. I've never seen that associated with other insurance. Do y'all know?
Do we have a?
We're going to let the smart people come and answer that question, sir.
The question would be, is there anything out there that we can measure our indices, whether, how we compare to other counties or whatever it is?
Yes, sir.
We're good, bad, or mediocre?
Actually, so the Property and Liability Trust has been around since 1995, and we have 26 counties now in our program, out of the 46 in South Carolina, because we have selectively chosen those counties with the best risk. We have a long-standing experience with you guys, your risk management program, known Holly for a long time, had the privilege of coming and presenting awards to you guys on your risk management programs and safety. So we know the value you all place on risk management, which is why we believe you'd be a good fit for our program. We're very careful and selective in who we bring into the Property and Liability Trust. To answer your question, we do a loss ratio every year where we compare your losses based on what they're expected to be. You get a loss ratio number very similar to an experience modifier for workers' comp. Your loss ratio was actually so good this year, you got a 10% discount based on your experience.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Sir.
Thanks, sir. I actually think that's, now that he said it, it is in this information, and my brain just evaporated when you asked me that question, so I apologize.
Very good. I have no more questions.
Mr. Ackerman, the new car replacement total for 2 years, does that cover the upfitting as well, or is that just?
Yes,
the
sir.
car? That covers total
Yes, sir.
price of everything?
Now, what they would prefer is if, let's say, a patrol car was totaled, then we could take that new equipment off of that car, install it in the other car if it's not damaged. But they would pay for that equipment transfer as well.
And if something is not able to be transferred?
Then it's replaced.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we specifically asked that question.
Can't imagine why.
Can't imagine why.
Just kidding, Carter. Are there any further questions for Mr. Ackerman?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Reverend Bishop Cooper?
Yes, the SCC WCT premium discount, that $22,631.86. And that's a projection for only the 8 months. And I see it's running from November 14, 2025 through July the 1st, 2026, which is approximately 8 months.
Yes, sir. So our renewal year for IRF, our current carrier, is November 14th. So we renew every November 14th. So under the association's trust, it's a fiscal year calendar. So July 1 to June 30th. So they've prorated our annual amount. So our actual expenditure for FY26 is only going to be a little over $1 million. Not the 1.8 is a full year's cost, but actually the check we'll write, if you guys approve this, will only be a little over $1 million for FY26, and then we'll set that $800,000 back into fund balance to offset any expenses that may arise later. The discount that you were seeing, because we're also a member of the Workers' Compensation Trust, anybody who's dual membership receives an additional discount.
And that's at 10%.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anything further? All right. Thank you, Mr. Ackerman.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Midfield, Mr. Rhodes. We'll now hear Chair will entertain a motion to approve the contract resolution allowing Georgetown County to participate in South Carolina County's Property and Liability Trust. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Resolution passes.
Mr. Chairman, if I can have your indulgence for 1 second.
Certainly.
This is, as most of you all know, my last official council meeting and presentation as the Director of Administration for Georgetown County. And I would like to say that it has been my honor and privilege to work with you all and all of the employees and elected officials of Georgetown County. I will truly miss everyone. So thank you for everything.
Thank you all. Alrighty. Move down to proclamation number 25-32 to proclaim October 2025 as Fire Prevention Month in Georgetown County. We have a report from Director Ellis, our Director of Emergency Services and Management, in charge tonight.
Good evening, Chairman, members of council. I'll try to be brief, but before you is Proclamation 2532, as you alluded. This does proclaim October 2025 as Fire Prevention Month in Georgetown County. I'm going to hit the high points so we can move right along with this year's Fire Prevention Month theme is charge into fire safety, lithium-ion batteries in your home. Throughout the month, our members of our emergency services team have been very active in the community and engaged in numerous public education and outreach events in an effort to educate the public on not only general fire safety, but also focusing on the prevention measures for this year's theme, including the lithium-ion battery safety in their homes and businesses. The key takeaways are, buying products that have reputable safety certifications, charging devices in a safe and proper manner, and then disposing properly and recycling of those lithium-ion batteries in a manner that's acceptable and approved. The efforts of our men and women with Georgetown County Fire EMS and Midway Fire Rescue have not gone unnoticed throughout the entire month of October, as is their commitment to safety day in and day out, 24/7, 365. So we present you this proclamation for your consideration tonight. Subject to any questions, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, Director Ellis. Are there any questions for Director Ellis on Proclamation 2532 to proclaim October 2025 as Fire Prevention Month in Georgetown County? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on Proclamation 2532.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Charlton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Proclamation passes.
All right, if I could trouble you for a quick photo so we keep the public information officer happy. I have my two charming fire chiefs here to try not to break the camera.
As long as we're not going on the kind of calendar.
Thank you.
I believe those calendars will be on sale later. Just kidding. All right, we move down to public comment period. Our public comment period is included on each meeting agenda, shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and no speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. A timer is provided on screen. At the end of your time, please wrap up your comments promptly. While speaking, please be sure to address council only and refrain from personal attacks. Council will not respond to any questions during this period. While a speaker has the floor, the public will respect the speaker and allow them their time to address council. Members of the public who wish to address council during the public input period should sign up with the clerk to council before meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers for tonight's meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have one speaker,
All right.
and that's going to be Mr. Randolph Ford.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of council. I'm here representing Plantersville. I'm the chairman of the Plantersville Tri-Community Service Project. There has been a request for zoning in the Annie section of Plantersville. We fought hard to get zoning in Plantersville. For that to be changed, it would change the character of our community. So we are requesting, please ma'am, please sir, keep it as it is. We work hard to get it, and we would love for it to stay the way that it is. Thank you very much.
That's our final speaker.
Yes, sir.
All right, we move down to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is approved by proclamation or by the approval of the agenda. We have procurement number 25-085, transport services for the county coroner's office as required. The coroner recommends acceptance of the one responsive offer, Palmetto Moon Transport LLC at the unit price bids for transport service as needed. Procurement number 25-095, upfit of 7 Ford Explorers for the sheriff's office. Sheriff recommends procurement of the upfitting of 7 units as listed above the Tri-County Upfitters of Piedmont, South Carolina under their SC State Contract 4400025309. And procurement number 25071, design build project of multi-use pavilion and multi-use outdoor sports court. Staff recommends the award of the single bidder Heritage Construction and Development. And I believe that is the pickleball court and the Pleasant Hill Pavilion.
And basketball.
And basketball. I apologize. Just for your information. Okay, we move down to appointments to boards and commissions. Coast RTA Board of Directors. The Coast RTA is requesting the reappointment of Ms. Lily Jean Johnson to the board. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Counselor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Charlton. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Thank you, Ms. Lily Jean. Move down to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 25-30, an ordinance to amend the Georgetown County Code of Ordinances, Section 8-24 fees, subsection C3 relating to the disposal of tires. We have pulled that from the agenda. That one has been tabled. Ordinance 25-39, amendment of the fiscal year 25-26 budget ordinance. We have a report from Ms. Megan Colgrove, our County Finance Director. Ms. Colgrove.
Good evening. Ordinance 25-39, commonly known as the rollover ordinance, allows for funds allocated for projects and purchases budgeted in fiscal year 25, but not yet completed, to be carried over to fiscal year 26 for their completion. A list of those projects has been provided to you in your agenda items. There was an additional $2.3 million added to the list since the second reading, bringing the total up to approximately $8 million. The majority of the additional $2.3 million is made up of port improvements, additional grant match for stormwater projects, rails for design and permitting, and 8 Oaks Park improvements. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, we ask for third reading approval of ordinance number 25-39.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
On 020 county, it's under, can you hear me okay? It's under County Fire District, the solar impact fee for equipment, and then the 3 trucks.
Yes.
That's for the solar farm? And
Yes.
that's to deal with if they have a fire?
Yes, that's my understanding. I'm still learning all of this stuff that went into the different budgets, but that is to take over if there is fire there. There's a tender truck, 2 brush trucks, a utility task vehicle, a foam response trailer, and a drone to help with that.
Okay. And then on Willbrook, let me find the number, hold on. It's 2025503. This might be a Public Works question, but is that going to replace, I'm good with the funding, but is that going to replace the, there's a drainage problem underneath. Do you know if that's going to replace, I don't know, Walt?
I do not know. Do you know?
I'm sorry, I haven't seen that list.
I can follow up with Public Works and get back
That'd
to
be
you with
great.
that.
Thank you.
Since there's a 2.3 addition since last, do we need to do something else with this, Jay? Do we need to do an addendum? Since they added 2.3 million since the last reading?
Since the last reading,
I'm sorry, since last reading, there's been an additional 2.3 million added to.
Yeah, that's what Ms. Colgrove said. There was an additional 2.3. So
Yes.
Is this list the additions, or is this the original? I'm sorry.
What you have in your packet is the full list.
Okay.
The additions are included in that.
Could you, if, sounds like we might defer it, could you highlight the ones that were added so we know which ones they are from the last reading?
And send that to you or like right now?
No,
Okay.
now. Yes, if you could email it to us.
Absolutely, I can. I can tell you that the largest part, the port improvement, was $1 million.
Okay.
The grant match for the stormwaters was $550K. The rail spur design was another $255K, and the Eight Oaks Park was $200K. So those are the real big parts of it. But I can send that list with everything.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, to your question though, since second reading, what is before you has changed by 2.3 million, is that correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, if you would want to move to amend it since second reading, and then move again to, if council so chooses, to approve it as amended.
Okay. That's kind of what we thought. Are there any further questions from Ms. Colgrove?
Is there a time commitment on any of these if we were to defer it for any reason?
No.
Okay.
No, we could defer.
I'm just checking. No, I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Okay. The chair will entertain a motion to amend ordinance 25-39 to include the $2.3 million that were added to the amendment since second reading.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Newton. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The amendment passes. We'll move back to the original motion as amended. Is there a motion on ordinance 2539 to amend the fiscal year budget 2526?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Ordinance passes. Thank you, Ms. Colgrove. Move down to second reading of ordinance 25-41, an ordinance to rezone one parcel totaling 1.5 acres located at 160 Genesis Road in the Anti-Village area of Georgetown from Rural Village Commercial, RVC, to Village 10,000 square foot residential, or VR10. This is TMS number 03-0480-005-01-00 in Council District 7. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. As you said, this is a request to go from RVC to VR10, and this parcel is in the Annie-Village area of Georgetown. This parcel currently has one single-family dwelling. The property owner has asked to rezone the property to VR10 to conform to the other properties that are adjacent to her lot. This parcel is served by the Georgetown County Water and Sewer District. Both water and sewer are available to the property via Genesis Drive. They would have to pay for an additional water tap and potentially a grinder unit to bring sewer to a new parcel for the site. RVC, or Rural Village Commercial, which is what this is zoned today, is a district that we frankly do not have a lot of in Georgetown County. It's a district that we created when we zoned the rural sections of the county. It allows for, it's sort of a strange mix of uses. It allows for farms and agricultural uses, but it also allows for some commercial barbershops, banks, laundromats, landscaping, restaurants without drive-throughs, and even some small repair shops. I don't know if any of you remember, but back in 2008 when we zoned the county, we did try to accommodate the existing uses as much as possible. And as I recall, this district was specifically created to address a couple of spots in Georgetown County. It also, of course, allows for residential, which is how the current property owner is using the site. She has requested, again, the VR10, or Village 10,000 square foot residential zoning, which allows for single-family dwellings and mobile homes. It also allows for some very limited neighborhood-type commercial on 10,000 square foot lots. The setbacks are also a little less restrictive in VR10. The biggest thing is that VR10 does allow for clustering, like we talked about at the last meeting. You can put up to 4 units per acre in VR10, and this is the district where you do not have to subdivide. It does allow for the clustering, and we did that again to address for a good bit of the heirs property that was located in these areas. Tracks to the north, south, and west of this one are all already zoned VR10. And the 2 tracks to the southeast of this one are zoned RVC. And the current uses in this area are all single-family residences. There's also a cemetery there. The parcel does have sufficient area for the VR10 zoning district. It would not be considered spot zoning. Like I said, there is a good bit of adjacent VR10 zoning there. The future land use map designation marks this property as rural village, which is RV, not rural village commercial, but rural village. And this place type basically includes small unincorporated communities or primarily residential properties on rural corridors, and may also include some limited commercial. We believe that the RV designation would support a VR10 rezoning request. The property is not located in a flood zone. And again, it does conform to the future land use map, is not to be considered a spot zoning. The Planning Commission held a meeting on this request back in September. We did have 2 residents that spoke at the time opposed to the rezoning. They had an opposition to allowing multiple mobile homes on a lot, and they expressed their desire, as Mr. Ford did tonight, to keep the zoning as it is. There was a motion by the Planning Commission to approve the request. It died for lack of a second, and then a motion to recommend denial for the request unanimously passed with a vote of 5-0. I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
You said that it passed is this on, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
It passed 5-0 at planning?
The recommendation to deny, yes, sir.
Recommendation to deny the request,
Yes.
so it failed at planning.
Yes, but again, there's this, of course, they're an advisory body in this case, so that is a recommendation to you all. That's their recommendation to you all.
Okay. It was just how it was worded through.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Ms. Holly, that was pretty one-sided. What's the issue there with these folks?
Again, all I can relay to you, I guess, is what they expressed at the meeting, and those comments were, I think there was a concern that once you get to multiple mobile homes on a parcel, that was starting to look like a mobile home park, perhaps. And again, they expressed the same desire that I think they felt comfortable with the current zoning and wanted to maintain it.
The current zoning doesn't allow mobile homes?
Yes, it does. It does. And the applicant at the meeting indicated that her desire was to add 1 additional mobile home to the 1.5 acre parcel, which she could do under the RVC zoning. The difference is she would have to do a subdivision plat in RVC. Like I said, the VR10 zoning allows for clustering, so the actual subdivision of the property would not be required under VR10.
So she's not requesting 4 units on that acre?
That is not what she expressed at the meeting that were her plans. Now, again, once the rezoning happens, it would be allowed.
She could do whatever.
Yes, sir.
Actually, she could put 6 on 1.5 acres unless there's a residence already there.
Potentially, if she could there is 1 there today. If she could maintain the 20-foot building separation and address the sewer issues.
It says in the application, the reason that it was requested was to conform to other properties around said properties to be zoned as the same. Do you think it's currently spot zoning based on the way the map is?
It's probably big enough in size that we have some other districts of that small of a size if you kind of zoomed out. And we talk about spot zoning a lot. It's not really a hard and fast rule. But it is a smaller area, but like I said, RVC, we don't have a lot of it in the county. It was kind of created to address some specific uses. And again, this lot, I'm not sure why it was picked up as RVC. It has a mobile home, which would conform to VR10 as well.
And what is in the current future land use map, that area? I just don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, it's rural village.
So that whole area would be RV. rural village on the future land use map?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Ollie, you said that in the future land use, it's all going from VR10 to RV?
Well, the future land use, it's all rural village, her lot and the surrounding lots. But it's kind of confusing because the zoning district is rural village commercial. Future land use map designation is rural village.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so Ms. Richardson, basically you're stating that when this zoning first came about, the community agreed with that particular type zoning. Is that correct? They assisted the county in coming up with that type zoning for the uses which were there at the time.
Right. We worked with the community to come up with that RVC designation as well as the VR10 based on some concerns that were expressed at the time.
So the differences here, one of the differences really is with the proposed zoning, it would increase the density that's there, wouldn't it, on that particular lot?
It would increase the density, yes, sir, in terms of residential units. It would also take away some potential commercial uses that are listed in RVC. But in terms of strictly residential density, yes, sir.
And from what you've heard at the planning commission and what you've heard tonight, the community is opposed to the increased density in their particular area, and they want to maintain some type of commercialism there that's not presently there.
That's my understanding.
And again, they're the one who assisted the county in coming up with this particular proposed zoning.
Yes, as well as I remember that, we created the districts, but we did it based on the concerns we heard at the time.
Yeah, and that was one of the concerns, to have some commercialism there to assist them.
They did want some commercial, yes, sir.
And the RVC does help with that, it's not.
The RVC, VR10 has some commercial as well. It's a little more limited than RVC.
So Holly, the applicant said that she wanted the VR10 simply to add one additional unit, but she can already do that with with RVC, correct?
That was her comment at the planning commission meeting, and yes, I believe that she could. Again, she would have to prepare a survey plat, have a surveyor do that, and get that recorded and subdivided, with approval from the Water and Sewer District. Okay. So she would have some steps to go through, but I do think it's possible. It certainly is based on the lot size.
Okay, so if we took no action to redo this, she could still potentially do what you requested to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Can you communicate that with her? Is she aware of this, the
I'm
applicant?
not, she may be here tonight, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yes, we certainly can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ollie. Are there any further questions from Ms. Richardson?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I just want to be reinforced, based on what Newton asked, the question, the possibility that they can add more. Initially in the meeting, she said perhaps one, but in actuality, she can add 3 or 4 if she desired to, for the most part.
Right now, she could add 2 more if it could be laid out appropriately and subdivided. It would kind of take the surveyor to see, but just based on the lot size and her current zoning, she could potentially have 2 more in addition to the one she has now.
Would this not also bring down the market value of the housing that's already in the community in that area?
I don't know, really couldn't speak to the market value, but I do think there are primarily single-family residences and mobile homes in the area now. And the adjacent zoning is VR10, which is what she has requested. So it wouldn't be much different than what is allowed by her neighbors currently.
But it would increase the density that's there, though, wouldn't it?
It would increase the density for the parcel compared to what it is today. Yes, sir.
And the proposed future land use map kind of look at decreasing the density that's there. Going to rural village, I think it's up to what, 1 to 3, I think it is.
I think that's correct.
Okay, and the other would allow up to 4 per acre, wouldn't it?
VR10, yes.
So it would be an increase in density. Thank you, Ms. Richardson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any further questions from Ms. Richardson? The chair will now entertain a motion on ordinance 2541, an ordinance to rezone one parcel totaling 1.5 acres located at 160 Genesis Road in the Annie Village area of Georgetown from rural village commercial RVC to village 10,000 square feet residential VR10 TMS 03-0480 005-0001-00 in Council District 7. Is there a motion on the floor? Hearing no motion, the ordinance dies for lack of support. Move down to first reading of ordinances. The following ordinances are to be read in the record by title only. Ordinance number 25-42 to rezone approximately 5.1 acres located on the northern side of Black Gum Road adjacent to Wisteria Plantation Drive in the Litchfield area from forest agriculture to 10,000 square foot residential MR10. TMS 04-0414-002-01-00 in Council District 6. Ordinance number 25-44 to rezone one parcel totaling 113.39 acres located on the southern side of Georgetown Highway, Highway 521, about 1 mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County from general commercial, GC, and 1/2 acre residential, R1/2 acre, to 6,000 square feet residential, or R6, and conservation preservation, CP. TMS 01-0147-001-00-00 in Council District 5. Ordinance number 25-45, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan, future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcel 01-0417-001-00-00 located on the southern side of Georgetown Highway, Highway 521, about 1 mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County from conservation and agricultural, ConAg, to residential mixed use, RMU, and conservation and agricultural, or ConAg, in Council District 5. Ordinance 2546, amending that certain agreement for development of joint county industrial and business park by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and Horry County, South Carolina, dated as of June 13, 2006, to extend the not before termination date and to provide for other related matters. This is the International Paper Redevelopment. Ordinance 25-47, authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and special source revenue tax credit agreement by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and SR Georgetown LLC as sponsor, and Silicon Ranch Corporation as sponsor affiliate, to provide for payment and fee in lieu of taxes with respect to a project, authorizing special source revenue credits and other related matters. We'll move down to the approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of October 14th, 2025? So moved by Councilor Moran. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The meetings are approved. Are there any further business to come before council at this time? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved by Councilor Morant. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? We stand adjourned.